Okay, let's get this done. You have decided to buy a motorcycle. It can be your first motorcycle, or you are looking for an upgrade, or you are a motorcycle enthusiast and you have plans of buying a motorcycle. If then absolutely, my friend, you are watching the right video. So how do you choose your motorcycle that suits your style, requirement and your pocket, right? The first mistake that most of the people do, they decide the motorcycle and then go and do a test ride. So that boils down to what is your requirement. There are different types of motorcycles available which suits a different body type and requirement. There are motorcycles like cruising motorcycles, sports motorcycles, naked street fighter, adventure tourer and sports tourer. So these are some of the different types of motorcycles that are there in the market. So what is your requirement? You want to commute in the cities, you want to take your motorcycle for work, college, and maybe go for touring once in a while, or you want to buy the sports motorcycle. You like the looks of the motorcycle, or rather you like the fairings of the motorcycle, and you like cornering and you like to take your motorcycle once in a while to the tracks. I know, which is very difficult in India. Unless you are in Chennai or Delhi, you hardly get any tracks to ride your motorcycle, which won't happen. People end up riding in cities. That is the most important way of shortlisting your motorcycles, right? You haven't started your test ride yet. You are just shortlisting your motorcycle first. Every Tom, Dick and Harry will have their own opinions. Some people might tell you, hey, don't buy this motorcycle. This is having less mileage, or this is less power. The service is not good. Long-term ownership is not good. There are a lot of people talking and pushing you to take a selecting motorcycle, and you get literally confused which one to take. You should not get confused. Rather, once you filter your motorcycles, maybe based on your requirement, let's say you're planning to buy a naked street fighter, and let's say you have shortlisted 4 bikes. Maybe for example, Yamaha FC250 or Gixxer 250 or Honda CB300F or KTM Duke 250. Now that you have this list of motorcycles, the next step you have to do is go and test ride these motorcycles one by one. Only once you test ride the motorcycle, you'll get to know. Because from outside, the bike might look amazing, just as in life. People might look really beautiful from outside, but you know what I mean, right? And the next important point, don't be a fanboy of any particular brand. Come on guys, it's not your own brand. It's some other motorcycles brand. Of course, people will have an affinity towards certain brand. I understand that. Some people are very particular, I love KTM, I love and breathe KTM. I cannot buy any other motorcycle. So this is for those guys who are literally fanboys of one brand and they don't want to test ride other motorcycles. Don't do this mistake, because every brand has its own USP and its own charisma, and we should appreciate that. Unless and until you test ride a motorcycle, you cannot conclude anything by just looking at some videos on YouTube or just going by people's opinion. So don't be a fanboy of any brand. Just respect all the brands. KTM, Dominar, Bajaj and Royal Enfield, all are very good brands, guys. Up to you which bike you want to buy. And the next one, buying the motorcycle based on the looks. This is the mistake that almost even I have done in the past. I'm not saying you should not buy the motorcycle which is really good looking, but unless and until you are very comfortable with riding the motorcycle, it is suiting your requirements, right? Whenever I bought the first motorcycle, I went with looks. I bought RS200. I love to take the motorcycle and go outside of the city and ride it for whole day. My ass was spinning and my back was spinning on my RS200, and I had to go for an upgrade after some years. The next thing that people are really stressed about is mileage. Come on guys, once you buy the bike, once you buy the motorcycle, you don't care about mileage. When you see that reserve indicator, you just go to the fuel station and refuel it. You don't really bother about mileage. People end up doing a lot of calculation work. Maybe people literally go and make how much did my so-and-so bike gave mileage, right? They end up making all such kind of videos. According to me personally, if you're buying a motorcycle which is greater than 200cc and above, the last thing that you want to look in that motorcycle is mileage. Of course, there are some motorcycles like Japanese motorcycles like Suzuki and Yamaha. They might give you a slightly higher mileage as compared to other brands, but that is something you really don't have to stress about. If you like the motorcycle, just go for it. But remember, test ride it before buying the bike. I've seen it in almost 70 to 80% of the people. They go and they buy some really good bike. maybe they go and buy a Domino 400 or maybe Kawasaki Ninja 300, and they go and wear chappals and ride the motorcycle, or they don't wear a proper helmet because it's just fun, right? I mean, that's the last thing that you want to do. As soon as you buy a motorcycle, you should allocate some amount of budget. So I call it as 70-30 or 80-20, depending on how much you are crazy about, depending on your requirement. If you tour a lot, then definitely you should spend at least 30% of the amount on motorcycle gears. Helmet is the most important accessory, and riding shoes, riding gloves, and maybe riding jacket. So I allocate my budget like this before buying a motorcycle, rather than just going and buying the costliest bike out there, which I have shortlisted, and end up not buying any motorcycle gears because you don't have any money after buying the motorcycle, right? This should not happen. Last one from my list, when you want to buy a motorcycle, make sure it has well-connected network and it has good ecosystem. Don't buy a motorcycle which is newly launched in the market. You really don't know how the motorcycle will perform after a certain amount of time. Let's say at present time, if you're looking to buy a motorcycle which is sub 400 segment cc, single cylinder motorcycle, then there are brands like Bajaj Domino 400, which has very good ecosystem. Royal Enfield Himalayan also has, a lot of people have Royal Enfield Himalayans, and even KTM Adventure 390. So it is well established ecosystem now. So if you buy that motorcycle, you will be entering that ecosystem. You will be getting a lot of friends. You will be going for group rides organized by them or by brands. So that way, if there are a lot of owners already of that motorcycle, that makes your life much easier, because if there is any problem with your motorcycle, you can just use this support group or use the resources, and people will be able to help each other, right? That's how I like to choose a motorcycle, guys. So I hope you guys got some glimpse about how to choose your motorcycle. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe to the content. I just want to remind, it's okay to do mistakes, right? Even I have done a mistake and I've learned from that. Don't go too hard on yourself also. I hope you got some idea as to how to choose a motorcycle, so that you don't make the same mistakes as a lot of people are making. With that, it's time to end the video. Take care guys, bye bye, stay safe and happy riding.